Hi guys, just want to introduce myself. My name is Robert Marshall. I'm the founder of Shape Therapy, I guess, and I'm a counsellor and psychotherapist. So today I'm just going to speak to you quite briefly, hopefully about 10, 12 minutes, and it's about coping with the COVID and the lockdown. So we have in Shape Therapy 7 key principles, and it's about these 7 key principles to help us personally how we think about them and to give us some tools and some strategies. So the first one is self-compassion, then self-acceptance, then self-judgment, being genuine and real to the self, empathising with the self, being open and honest with the self, and empowering the self and others. So it's just wee tips when we're really struggling. You might be able to share this with people in need, etc. So let's start with the first one, self-compassion. And the question I always say to sometimes my clients and sometimes everybody, do you think you are worth it? So what do I mean by that is sometimes we're very damning on ourselves and we get very negative with ourselves. Of course we are worth it, but we have to challenge our belief system and think about it. And I'll give, there's a wee example in counselling. So, and I've talked about this a lot, so you're probably going, oh, here he goes again about his counselling. I find well, they come along and they're talking about the stress and anxiety of their life, and they say, "Oh, I'm rubbish at this. I just can't cope with that at the moment, and that's just too far away. And if I try that, it's a waste of energy and things like that." And I say, tell me a bit more about how you speak to your. Oh well, no, I'm very supportive to my friends and my family, and and I'm very supportive to others out with that and my work and things. And then I go, well, wait a minute here. What about, you tell yourself, and I'm just kind of wondering if you told everybody the way you feel, that you talk to yourself, that you were, you can't do this and you can't do that and you're rubbish at that, what would they say to you? Oh no, I would never do that. So why do you talk to yourself that way? And sometimes the penny drops, and you know what? It changes sometimes their attitude. So how is your reflection when you're stuck in the house with this COVID? Just say to yourself, well, wait a minute, not everything is massively negative. What is it that I can do? And I'm going to repeat this. It's things that we can do, not things that we can't, because we focus on the negative too much. So you are worth it, and you just got to think outside the box. So that is a wee bit about self-compassion. The next one is self-acceptance. And just an easy thing is to draw these two circles, a big outer circle and with a smaller inner circle. And inside that circle is you, the person. And that's the only thing that you can control and accept. So it's how you feel, your thoughts, your feelings, your behaviours. It's all the things that you can control as a person. So that's the things that we can accept and we can change. But the outer circle, we waste a hell of a lot of energy with the outer circle. It's things that we can't control. And we just got to focus on the inside of us and what we control ourselves as a person, and not use energy and our thoughts out with that. So the world, even COVID, we can't control that to a certain extent. And we're hearing a lot of stuff about it, and we'll talk about judgment next about it. So let's just focus on energy and things that we can accept, and just reflect that yourself and draw that wee two circles as the tool. So going on to the judgment in ourselves, first of all. Again, I can focus on, we're quite damning on ourselves. We judge ourselves as maybe not being the best and always try to strive to be the best, but that puts pressure on ourselves. And these negative feelings draw attention to ourselves, and we can normally act out negatively. And if you're stuck in your house and you're looking at things on Facebook and you're looking at these things and somebody's saying that, and you go, oh, do you know what? I feel crap and I'm just going to say what I think. So you just got to be careful and use that big stop sign, that red stop sign, and say, well, wait a minute. I don't need to react to a judgment. I don't need to go and jump on that bandwagon or even pick sides. Even if I'm right or if I feel I'm right, don't pick a side. Just hold it. And sometimes that holding it back can give us a more empathetic response to anything, because the worst thing we can do is go and put an opinion on. Maybe we've had a few wee drinks and things like that, or we're getting really stressed with anxiety and we have a wee few too many. And the problem is with that is it maybe loosens her tongue ever so slightly. But even then, have that big red stop sign up. Just don't say anything quite yet. Hold it back. Maybe talk about it tomorrow and hold that, because that's when it creates problems, when people react, and then you've got a problem on Facebook. So be careful of that. So that's judgment. And the wee stop sign is a good one to use for the judgment thing. So genuine and real, right? What is genuine and real? And I always describe it as, and it's an easy way to do it. I was driven as a youngster. I was brought up to fight for everything, and that's the social cultural norms of my society. So I was thinking about, well, I was driven to be successful and I've got to try and do this, 2.4 children, the car, the house and everything. But did I really want that? See, when you think about it, what is it you really, really want? So you've got to be careful and really look at yourself. And are you really being genuine and real in what your aspirations are in the world? And am I too driven? And here's a perfect saying, and I'm going to speak about this in the next one as well, because there's empathy next. I might not be perfect, but I am enough. And we've got to say that. That came from Carl Rogers, and that's the humanistic approach. We've got to say that a bit more to ourselves, because if we're driven too much, we don't become genuine. We just become this person, human doings, rather than the human being part of ourselves. So be mindful of that. Be genuine and real, and think about yourself, okay? Empathise. So the statement above is a perfect empathetic statement. I might not be perfect, but I am enough. So what do we really mean by empathy, and how do we use it when we're in this lockdown? So here's the thing, how to use it. 3-step plan, say. Now, I know it's difficult. So you say this to yourself, I know it's difficult with the COVID. I know that we've got a lot of stressors in the household, maybe with, kids and a husband or a wife or whatever stresses you have. You've got to empathise with yourself. But then the key thing about empathy is it's not sympathy. Is you've got to have a wee kind of solution. You've got to have a plan within empathy. So I know it's hard for us. But the thing is, again, go back to that statement. What is it I can do, not what I can't do? Think about it. And then maybe reward yourself for that. So empathise. Look, it's tough. We can't get outside. If you're in Tenerife, for instance, we can't really go outside. But what is it I can do? Well, maybe I can go, when I'm going that shopping, I'll maybe try and get my heart rate up or something. There's always something that you can do. And you've got to think outside the box and then reward yourself with it. Say, do you know what? I'm really used that empathy well today. It's really good for me. And that keeps you healthy. But it allows you to empathise with other people as well. So that's empathy, and that's a wee tool there. Open and honest. And here's the thing with open and honest. And the thing is, I never really used it. In the time of when I was maybe stuck in my addictions, etc. And when I didn't truly listen to myself, my gut feeling was it was just ignoring what I really felt. What was the open and honesty of it? I was always dodging bullets. I was always ducking and diving. And the problem is, when you're in lockdown, are you really open and honest to each other, your friends and your family? You need to really listen to yourself. And again, maybe use that big red stop sign and don't react too quickly. But the open and honest truth is inside yourself. So just listen to yourself. That's the listening skill. The open and honest will come out. So just think about that. And that's a listening skill. And that's the true meaning of counselling, as I say. So you've got to listen to yourself first and foremost before you can listen to other people. So that is open and honesty. And here is the empowerment. So this is the kind of doing bit of the shape therapy. So we've listed 6 other key principles. This is the doing bit. So when we're sitting there, what can we empower ourselves to do? So I've given you 3 little wee simple tips here. Goal setting. Make the goals nice and simple. Write them down, put them in a diary every day for the next 7 days. What is it we can do, not what we can't do? So write them down, keep them simple, keep them really easy. And it's amazing that even doing that will maybe structure your day, get your exercise in, get whatever it is that you do, like to do in a day, and think outside the box. So that's goal setting. Okay, here's another tip, and it's a cracker, right? And it's take 15 minutes each with your partner, friend, whatever, whoever you're in the household with. Now, if you're a single person, please use Zoom or telephone call. Now, the 15 minutes is a reflective practice. Now, you don't need to be too skillful, but you just allow the other person to say exactly how they feel. Give them the opportunity to vent. And all you're doing as a listener is just going, oh, right, okay, so tell me a wee bit more about that. So tell me, that sounds, really just get in that puddle and empathise. You could advance, and I can give you more advanced skills, but just for the now, just reflect. Give them that time to exhaust their stresses. And then you swap over and the other person has that 15 minutes. It just releases a lot of anxieties within. And it might be a wee bit tearful and things like that, but just do it in a nice, safe manner. And you don't need to go too deep, right? But it could just be that 15 minutes of just going, my life is rubbish, or whatever. So that gives you a little wee bit of insight there. So it's just a 15-minute reflection each, either by phone or by, do it to your loved one or your friend or whatever. Now, here's the third one. So the 6 key principles, you use them collectively to resolve issues. So if, for instance, you're stuck and things like that, so you would use empathy, you'd use compassion, you'd use open and honest, try and use them collectively together. And if you use them collectively together to resolve issues, you might find that you're in a better place. So that is the 3 little wee empowerment tips. Now, if that doesn't work, if you're still struggling with severe stress and anxiety or depression, we still have these 7 students at the moment who will offer you free sessions at the moment. So please reach out if you're really, really struggling. These wee tips are hopefully helpful. And please send it to a friend. Get them to like Shape Therapy, because at the end of the day, this resource will grow. And if it's nice, helpful tips, then we can maybe help somebody in need. So that your job is to help somebody in need by sharing this. I'm maybe promoting Shape Therapy too much, so it's not the point. The point is, let's help another fellow human being. So I'd like to thank you for listening today and share this little wee, is it a podcast? Don't know, WhatsApp video. So thanks very much for listening, and catch you later. Bye-bye.